Hey guys, Metal Matt here with another how to sing video. These have been quite popular on here where I'm telling you guys how I'd approach singing like different vocalists. I've done Rob Halford, I've done Udo, I've done Marilyn Manson, Alice Cooper, George Michael, Boy George, loads of people, a mixture of vocalists. I love voices, and as a singer myself and a songwriter, I enjoy paying attention to different singers and how they sing, and I'm here basically to show you how I would approach trying to sing like these people, because I know some of you might want to kind of sound a bit like your heroes. And before I start, I know you're all thinking, who is this guy? He doesn't sound like Paul Stanley. Nobody sounds like my hero, Paul Stanley. Well, don't worry, I'm not trying to be Paul Stanley. I just want to show you a little something of what I think he's doing, and maybe help you guys who are singers out there or aspiring singers, you know. So we're going to dive straight in and listen to isolated vocals that I've found, and just kind of hear what he's doing, and I'll kind of explain how I think he's doing it. And that's it. So let's get into this. We're going to start with a classic, I Was Made for Loving You, a favorite of everyone's, I think, certainly mine. Straight off that, yeah. It's a nice kind of thing to do. Start quite subtle, that, you know, yeah. It's a nice kind of melodic way of showing that he's kind of with the music, you know, he's kind of getting into it. He's warming himself up a little bit, and he's kind of getting into the groove of the song. And the more melody you can kind of incorporate as a singer, the better, really. You know, it's a good way. These kind of ad-libs like that are quite a good way of kind of vibing you in with the song, you know, so that's kind of cool. I like that. You can hear that's quite a contrast to that, yeah. That's kind of a full voice thing. He's letting it kind of push out, you know. He's using quite a lot of force to make sure it comes out, yeah. And kind of melodic, bit of vibrato, that kind of shake, yeah. And then contrast to the do 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 do, and it doesn't sound any stronger than how I'm doing it really there. It's kind of got that American New York kind of voice there, but then very controlled. Even that bit, even the doo-doos or the ooh-oos, whatever sound that is, are quite controlled, you know. He's not kind of just humming it like how you might think he's doing. It's quite controlled if you listen. Do 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 do. So precision is key. I remember when I met Rob Halford, I said to him one time, I said, I love how precise you are. You know, that's what I love about you, is your kind of precision. You're precise, how precise everything is, like the way he pronounces stuff, his diction, all that kind of stuff. He's just very precise. And he said, well, you gotta be, you know. And that stuck with me, because it's like, I think that's good advice from the metal god. You know, you've got to be precise. You've got to really perfect every little thing. That's why I pay a lot of attention as a singer. I like to see what people are doing and really kind of study it in a kind of pretty intense way, I guess. So if you're trying to achieve that falsetto-y sound, if that's something you struggle with, this kind of thing, this, I think you've got to have quite good breath control. You know, you've got to kind of have that kind of do 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 do, and you've got to kind of know your voice. Make sure you can kind of shift the pitches. Start off with a ah, 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 ah. You're finding that airy sound, and then ah, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, don't be sloppy with it. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, more precise. Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's where I switch into more of a full voice kind of head thing, a mix kind of thing, but you want that more heady sound, like do 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 do. You know, all about melody. Find that melody, bit of vibrato in there, just kind of make the sound more sharper, you know, and carry a bit better, you know, do rather than do do do. You can use that bit of force, you know. If you keep practicing that, you kind of get that preciseness, get that precision going. We'll get into the verse now, so we can really dive into what Paul's doing here. Got my puppy playing around, so you might hear some noises in the background. Very low now.
I wanna give it all to you in the darkness. There's so much I wanna do.
So there you go, quite a deep voice straight off. And tonight, but that tonight, yeah, there's a bit of head voice there as well. So starts off low, tonight, tonight, tonight. You can do it however, but tonight. It's nice to be able to go from that very kind of soft sound, delicate, to a stronger sound. He has a very distinctive low voice, may even be like a baritone by how low his voice kind of sounds, you know. Tonight, quite bassy, you know. I want to give it all to you in the darkness.
I wanna give it all to you.
Quite a strong sound. I want to give it all to you. Not too airy, actually, at the beginning there.
In the darkness.
In the darkness.
There's so much I wanna do.
So much I want to do. So he's keeping it quite low. There's not too much airiness, but there's sort of sections of airy kind of. Tonight.
I wanna lay it at your feet.
So practice your full voice, you know, kind of vocal exercises maybe. Yeah, 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 yeah. Make sure you can go high. Yeah, 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 yeah. But you want to kind of have that bassy kind of tonight. I want to give it all to you. Quite strong sounding. In the darkness. A full voice, kind of more full voice than anything. There's so much I want to do. And tonight. And then you kind of go a bit more gentle there, you know. It could be just and tonight, which works, but tonight kind of works better, you know, with that bit of So you kind of got to learn to effortlessly switch as well. That's kind of what Paul's doing.
Girl, I was made for you. Girl, you were made for me.
And you can hear it's very discreet, very quiet, but in the background he's doing a higher thing. He's doing a bit of layering with his voice, a bit of harmony. You were made for me. Kind of that kind of voice. Girl, you were made for me. Girl, you were made for me. If you listen carefully.
I wanna lay it at your feet. Girl, I was made for you.
No.
Girl, you were made for me.
Goes nice together, the harmonies.
I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. And I can't.
And this is where the voice changes a little bit. So it goes from a very bassy kind of deep voice, really, and tonight for most of the verse. And then there's a bit of harmony as it builds up to that higher section. Because girl, I was made for you. Kind of a bit of that, a bit of layering, but mainly you can hear the lower voice. Me. You can hear there's quite a lot of echo, and I think that's because there is like a harmony going around. It could even be Gene Simmons harmonizing the whole band, you know, or it might be just Paul done multiple takes in different vocal keys, but it's very much like, you were made for loving me, or whatever. It's that kind of pitch, you know. I was made for loving you, baby. But you can hear that, I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. So one thing that's a big part of this song, and Paul's overall vocal technique here, is he's kind of knows how to use that delicate kind of more feminine side to his voice, as well as the strong kind of side, but he's also mixing it, harmonizing it for the chorus. Many artists do this. Bon Jovi does this kind of vocal doubling thing. I think Ozzy does it a lot, where you've got this harmonies kind of thing, and it's kind of, it adds a more bigger sound, you know. Can you get enough of me? And it could be kind of that kind of thing, which is quite a strong, kind of reinforced falsetto with that, but without the distortion overdrive. I mean, Rob Halford, that kind of painkiller, yeah, that kind of thing is like reinforced falsetto, I'd say. But it's not quite that like Rob Halford. It's more like a cleaner. I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. So it still sounds quite strong, but there's this nice light kind of melody sound as well, you know. So I think what makes that chorus so great is that harmony. There's a bit of mixed sort of reverby stuff going on, echo kind of sound, and there's that kind of I was made for loving you, baby, but also that I was made for loving you, baby, you were made for loving me. And he's got a very kind of strong voice, you know, and he can take it up a level. Me tonight,
I wanna
see it in your eyes,
feel the
magic, so much it drives me wild. And those kind of little, it's not much of a kind of ad-libby thing there, but drives you wild. Those kind of vocal runs, kind of little vocal run there. Drives you wild, wouldn't be as good, but drives you wild. Wild. You got to play with the kind of pitch, you know. Drives you wild. Little things like that. Paul does that kind of thing just to jazz things up, you know. There's a bit of harmony there. And tonight. So there's a thing underneath which is a bit more head voice. Tonight. Falsetto kind of territory. But also tonight. Got that nice low kind of sound as well, you know.
We're gonna make it all come true.
And his diction is very clear, you know. We're gonna make it all come true. Some American singers are a bit more, you know. She got a smile and it seems to me it's my life is now or never. And all that kind of affected singing. But Paul is quite clear, kind of like a British singer. British singers tend to be a bit more precise, I've noticed.
Girl, you were made for me.
Girl, you were made for me. Made for you. And it sounds almost like a football ground singing on the chorus, you know, that very kind of high pitch of you were made for loving me, baby. I was made for loving you. It's very high, you know, his natural key is very high, but also you've got this nice echoey kind of sound, making it sound a lot bigger, you know. I'm in Mexico, by the way, so I'm sweating, sorry guys. There, he ends that a bit more lighter. Can you give it all to me? All to me? Oh. So start with that kind of sound. All to me, all to me, all to me, oh, oh. Bring it up a bit, let it resonate in the chest a bit. Can you give it all to me? All to me? Got to make the sound big, you know. You got to make your falsetto kind of thing quite big, not just a delicate little thing, you know. Right, we've got this is the nice bit now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That kind of thing. So it's kind of he's quite precise with how he does that, even though it sounds like a little ad-lib kind of vocal run. Is you know, the what sound, the W is quite strong. And then because there's quite a strong sound, you know. I noticed that with certain vowels and certain letters and, you know, certain sounds, you can get more power, like with high notes. I find it you know, kind of Rob Halfordy type thing. You might have heard that kind of sound he does sometimes. But also this kind of, what Paul's doing here is quite a you know, some certain vowels and stuff adds a bit more wholeness to the sound, you know. And then a total contrast here. This is a very light falsetto he does now, kind of head voice thing. So it starts off full voice. Whoa. Very nice falsetto, and he keeps it really clean, because he could kind of can't get enough, but he keeps it quite clean. Can't get enough, and again the control. There's so much control there. You got to have so much control if you're gonna hit nice high notes like that. You know, you got to really know what you're doing to. Whoa, can't get enough. You can see it takes quite a lot of moving it around. I got to really concentrate to do it. So can't get enough. And you'll take it more. It starts quite high and then goes quite comfortable. You know, can't get enough. Can't get enough. Can't get enough. So you can see there's quite a lot of control and quite a lot of push from the diaphragm to kind of, as it gets really high, that's when you really got to make sure you push it, otherwise you're going to fail, you know. Can't get enough! And you might like break, you know, but if you can go, can't get enough! You can hear the vibrato is a big part of it as well. Can't get enough! You want to kind of achieve that, you know. Can't get enough! And you can see I'm mixing it from a stronger sound, very piercing, like to I think if you want to warm up for that, kind of go kind of like siren kind of exercises to kind of get your pitch going, you know. But some of you will be able to hit that pitch. Some of you might not be able to hit as high if you've got a certain kind of voice, you know. Not everyone. I always say anyone who can sing high, they don't usually sound alike. Axl Rose, King Diamond, Rob Halford, they've all got very unique voices, but they're all screaming and singing high. But, you know, you're not necessarily going to sound just like Paul Stanley, if that's what you're aiming for. But you can at least try and sound like him in the way of using the same kind of techniques. And, yeah, that's what I believe he's doing there. So kind of a very light falsetto with a lot of control, a little bit of vibrato, or a lot of vibrato in places, and also a strength, a real push to it, you know. Can't get enough. And you can see I can kind of end it. Can't get enough. And I don't have to do it all in one, you know. Can't get enough. Or you can kind of learn to do it all in one, but you can also kind of slow it down. Can't get enough. And I guess if you can't get that high, I'll try and do what I'd do if I wasn't trying to do it high, but still want to achieve that sound. I'd probably kind of go, can't get enough. Ooh, I can't get enough. And I might do it in full voice. Can't get enough. And that'd be kind of a contrasting way to do it. But yeah, if you can practice your falsetto and try and get it strong, you know, you can achieve this Paul Stanley kind of thing quite easily. This is quite an easy vocal, really. I've analysed a lot of vocalists, and this is pretty easy for me. And, you know, I'm not just saying that. I think it would be a fairly easy song for most people to learn who are kind of good singers. You know, if you've sang for a bit, and you know, this shouldn't be too difficult. And if you're starting out, it's probably quite a good one to start out on, because there's so many different things. There's a lot of nice, comfortable singing, but then there's a few moments you might want to push, you know, and that's where you might need to put some practice in, you know. But But yeah, we're coming to the end of the video now, but so yeah, it's all predictable now, really. It's all a, you were made, I was made. And he kind of gets into that higher territory. No, I can't get enough. But there's also all that, no, I can't get enough. I imagine the band in the background are adding kind of that nice harmony in a very light way, you know. I was made for loving you, baby. You are made for loving me. And kind of, I was made, you are made, with a nice bit of echo on it. And then Paul is kind of going, I was made, you are made, I can't get enough. So yeah, if you want to sound a bit like Paul, overall, you know, you can hear all the different techniques. He's using a lot of lower register, possibly baritone. He's got quite a low sound. Very precise in the word, you know, his pronunciation is very precise. And very kind of nice melodies. He does some little ad-lib things here and there to kind of jazz it up. And he uses a nice falsetto as well, a nice clean kind of falsetto, you know. I'll play a bit of Lick It Up, see what we think of this. But I'm wrapping up the video now, but we can hear a little bit of Paul doing this. And if you guys want a personal singing lesson, I do singing lessons online through via Zoom, where you can book a half-hour kind of lesson thing, and I'll teach you guys personally how to achieve whatever singer you're trying to sound like. I'll help you get there. And yeah, contact me, metalmattbookings@gmail.com. Drop me an email or write in the comments if you're interested, and yeah, I'll help you sing. I do a package for like 8 lessons or something for, I can't remember how much, but you know, you can contact me, we'll figure it all out. But yeah, I can do like 8 lessons, I can do 1 lesson, you know, select lessons, a few lessons, or a package thing. So message me and we can discuss all that. And yeah, I am a professional singer. I've collaborated with the likes of Ripper Owens, and JJ of Rob Halford's band has played on my songs, and I collaborate with John Foster of Bronxy Beat. I got a wide variety of my own songs, like The King of Hearts, You Know That I'm Here, which I recently dropped. It's an old song which I've re-released. I'm living out in Mexico now. I got a Mexican friend who's a singer in this cool band called Steel Sentinel. I got him to sing on my song. He found me via YouTube here and wanted to hear me singing, so I become friends with him, and I got him on my song recently. We went in the studio, recorded You Know That I'm Here, so check out that. I've got, like I say, The King of Hearts, Devil in Disguise, Burn the Priest, Changes in You. There's a few of my songs you can check out. I'm on all the platforms, my YouTube channel here. Be sure you've subscribed and turn on notifications, or you probably won't see my stuff. That's how it is these days. You've got to turn on every little thing. You can't just subscribe, but do subscribe, but click on some little bell notification thing and you won't miss my posts. But yeah, let me know if you want any bookings. I'm also on Cameo, things like that. And we're going to end this now with Lick It Up, and hear Paul do a bit of that. So that's quite a shout, quite a bit of force on that. Let's hear it again. Yeah, yeah. A bit more loose this one. Yeah, yeah. A bit more distortion, you know, which you can achieve in the throat. Yeah, yeah.
Don't wanna wait till you know me better.
Don't wanna wait till you know me better. I like he's got that nice bit of distortion. He's kind of taking his clean kind of sound, but adding that distortion, which is very much in the throat. You know, don't wanna know, don't wanna know, don't wanna know, do you love me better? And kind of vibrato again, a strong force, you know, yeah, don't wanna love me better, holy diver. All that kind of territory, that same kind of Dio-ish force to his voice, you know.
Let's just be glad for the time together.
Time together. So it's a nice pitch. It's very clean, very precise. There's no kind of going off on one. It's just know me better and kind of forcing it out, you know, just propelling it, whatever the word is, giving it that bit of punch, you know, really belting it. You know, he's a belter. That's what I kind of like with Paul. He's got this belting kind of voice, and he's got such a nice tone, you know, like a siren, you know. Heavy metal siren.
That's such a treat, and it's time you taste
think he's got a bit of it. He sounds almost a bit lispy, you know, like, you know, lispy kind of thing, and which kind of works. Kind of, I think the way he forms his letters, maybe it kind of gives it this nice kind of sound when he's singing, you know. Love me better. It's almost feminine, like a bit of a feminine thing. Can't quite describe it, but you might know what I mean. But all these singers. All these singers have a little thing that makes them unique, and their tone and everything, you know. And this is kind of, Paul has that kind of something there that's kind of hard to quite pin down what he's doing. But
It ain't a crime to be good to yourself. Lick it up.
good to yourself, lick it up,
Lick it up.
lick it up. And he's got that nice harmony. Lots. So that's quite nice. He takes it up a level there. Quite forced. Good to yourself! It almost like breaks, you know. Good to yourself! Good to yourself! And he doesn't care, you know. But I think that's more force. He could be kind of right now, which is kind of, he could be switching into a falsetto. Which is kind of right now, and kind of switching it, or he might be just forcing his full voice. Right now, it could be either, you know. Loads of harmony. Yeah, yeah. You know, he's always going back to that low sound, which is nice as well. So there you go, that's quite different, you know. Lick it up! And it's quite rough, quite a bit more distortion. So he's quite versatile. He can do a nice clean thing, or he can do this kind of more forceful kind of belting kind of style. And like I say, you can do it in different ways, you know. It might be full voice in parts, and then he may break into a bit of a scream thing. You got to learn to kind of manipulate your voice and be able to go through the pitches, you know. But anyway, I hope this has been a help. It's nearly half hour now, so I'm going to end this. I think I've gave you a bit of a guidance there on how to sound like Paul Stanley of Kiss. I hope it's been a help. Let me know in the comments. Check out my other how to sing videos. I've got playlists here on the channel with all the different ones I've done. You can send me requests, although I'm not doing many of these now. But if you send a donation, I may well do it, because you know, this is how I make a living, doing music and stuff. And it's not an easy life as a musician these days. But I'm available for guest vocals, or as a guest vocalist if you want me to sing on your song. And I also do singing lessons and stuff. So metalmattbookings@gmail.com. Let me know. I do interviews and stuff as well, so if you want to interview me, the same email. And you know, different things. I do promotion as well here on the YouTube channel. So if you're looking for promoting your music or your band or your products or whatever, you can also contact me there or in the comments. That's it. Subscribe, hit the notifications. I'm Metal Matt, as nicknamed by Rob Halford himself. Fun fact there. So yeah, I'll see you here on the channel. Check out my original songs and lick it up. Yeah.